Welcome to Highly Questionable. Dan is still attempting to put together his home gym. So I'm Izzy Gutierrez. This right here is the star of the show. That's Mina Kimes. Mina, what do you like on the show?
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of today. Just a hunch.
Vamos, papi.
The Rockets split without Chris Paul in Game 6.
Man, this was Shakespearean tragedy level watching that happen last night. Chris Paul, the guy who hadn't even been to this level of the playoffs, gets here, is dominating, is beating the team he wasn't supposed to beat late in the game, and has that hamstring injury happen to him. He's already ruled out for Game 6. And are they bleeped without him? Man, it really does seem so. It sure seems so when James Harden is 0 for 20 from 3 for the last game and a half. It sure seems so when the games are in the 90s and he seems like the more unstoppable player down the stretch, Chris Paul. And you've got the Rockets and Mike D'Antoni with a short rotation already. He already has to play Gerald Green in the conference finals. That is not ideal. So if you go in without a Chris Paul having to win either a game in Golden State or even a Game 7 back home when those games in Houston have been quite tense, man, I don't think the Rockets are in a very good position, and it's so sad because if Chris Paul was healthy, they would probably win this series and shock the world.
Yeah, now Golden State's not going to get any credit for winning it because, yes, unfortunately, I agree. I think the Rockets are bleep. People will point out that the team went 15-6 during the regular season when Paul was out and Harden was playing, but that was a very different iteration of James Harden from what we were seeing. That James Harden led the league in made threes and shot 37% from distance. This James Harden, as Izzy pointed out, has been struggling, and that's why they brought Chris Paul in, to compensate for Harden when he goes cold, like he did in the postseason last year. Right now, without him, they don't have a safety net.
It's quite possible the strategy here is to sit Chris Paul out for Game 6 and pray to the heavens that he's ready for Game 7 and win that game anyway. It's quite possible that James Harden just needs one MVP type of game and really distribute it to his other guys and get them hot, and they can still win this series. And if either of those things happen, man, these Warriors are bleeped because the story of them is, oh, they won a championship one year when all the point guards in their way got hurt. They lost the championship when they won 73 regular season games. They won a championship because they got Kevin Durant to add to an already great team. Now, if they don't win this, they will be considered failures forever, even though they've won 2 championships out of 4.
You guys are buying this?
Mm-hmm.
I think that he doesn't want to be there, man. He knows that he's going to choke, so, I mean, that's it. He's just making this thing up, sitting on the bench, you know what I mean? That's what he's going to do. That's right, I mean, he knew what the script was going to be. He get down to Game 5, and then Game 6 he loses, and Game 7 he loses. So now, when they lose, he's not in the lineup. They say, well, you see, I wasn't there. That's the reason
level choker, preparing for his choking by skipping the game. I think it's actually pretty smart.
Who was the bigger Warrior choker, Draymond Green or Kevin Durant?
So much joking. It's clearly Durant, right? Because Draymond did screw up the final possession, but he wasn't even supposed to get the ball there. And you could tell he didn't even really want it. He looked like a bachelor who's been handed a baby. Meanwhile, Kevin Durant was brought in as the closer. That's his job, and he missed all 4 shots he took in the final 12 minutes and has not really helped the team. He's averaging 1 assist per game in all of the Warriors' losses. Now, each of the players on the team shares some of the blame, but Durant is the only one who said last season that he was on the same level as LeBron. He needs to rise to the standard he set for himself.
There isn't any one player who choked this game away. Steve Kerr was partially responsible for the loss. Draymond Green was, of course, partially responsible for the loss. But in terms of what they're responsible for doing for their team, Draymond Green essentially did his job. Kevin Durant did not. Kevin Durant's role on this team is to be the offense when everything else bogs down. When games are in the 90s, like this game was, you throw the ball to Kevin Durant, he gets you points. He was not doing that in this game, missed the last 4 shots he took, and he did so after that game where he failed to take a shot late in the game, passed the ball to Klay Thompson anyway. This should have been his 4th quarter, his redemption, and it wasn't. What's really interesting about KD, though, is it felt like last year he got rid of any sort of demons about playing big in big games or taking big shots. He took that one walk-up 3 on LeBron, and it looked like that was it. He could take those shots whenever he wanted for the rest of his career. Now he seems like he doesn't want those shots in this series. It's a little weird.
Ring, ring, ring.
Who we got?
Hello? What? Phil? No, you sound like Kevin Durant. Phil, huh? No? Kevin Durant wasn't the one that choked, which is Phil? No, you sound like Kevin Durant. Oh, no? You sure? But the ID caller says Kevin Durant. You keep saying that Kevin Durant wasn't the one who choked. Phil who? Oh, you don't want to disclose the last name? All right, Phil, Kevin Durant, whatever. Okay, I got you.
Kevin Durant not figuring out what caller ID is, getting busted there.
Is Steve Kerr right that the Warriors should feel great about where they are right now?
Well, I don't know if anybody's more confident with the Warriors than Steve Kerr is right now. Here's what he had to say after his team lost a second straight playoff game to the Rockets.
I feel great about where we are right now. And that may sound crazy, but I feel it. I know exactly what I'm seeing out there, and we defended them beautifully tonight. We got everything we needed. Just too many turnovers, too many reaches. And if we settle down a little bit, we're going to be in really good shape.
The only thing that should make him feel that confident is watching Chris Paul limp off the floor last night, because he knows he probably won't be part of the rest of the series, and at the very least won't be 100%, because there really isn't anything about his team to like right now. If you think about other than Game 2, the Rockets are scoring an average of 95.3 points a game. The Warriors should win all of those if that's what the Rockets are averaging. He said right there, they defended very well. So the problem is their offense. The problem is that Houston's switching defense bogs down the Warriors' offense. And as we mentioned earlier, KD is not responding enough to carry that offense. So if it's going to be low-scoring, close games, I don't know why he would feel that confident, because, again, even a James Harden or an Eric Gordon can take over a game late without Chris Paul. They want to be away from that situation at all times.
Should he feel great about their chances of winning? Sure. Vegas has him favored by 10.5 points, largely because of the Chris Paul injury. But should he feel great about the team? I don't think anyone who's watched the Warriors over the last couple of games can think so, because they don't really look like the Warriors. Like, something's a little bit off about this team. They're running twice as many ISOs as usual, 60 fewer passes per game than the norm. It's like a team of robots impersonating the Warriors that keeps glitching every now and then. They need to be reset on their narrative loop. Steve Kerr is the one who should be doing that.
You know what it feels like? It feels like this is the view of a team that's trying to turn it on, and it's failing. It's not happening for them. It did it a couple times in the first round, a couple times in the second round. Now against this quality of team, it's not there for them, and they look a little concerned.
I think that the Steve is losing his mind. I think that the pressure is getting to him. I think that he's saying things that he doesn't believe, to keep everybody happy, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, buddy.
This is the team that broke Steve Kerr.
Well, I'm telling you something. I think that he lost his mind. I really think.
Nope. You can call me gutless. I will not pick against LeBron. I don't know why you would, when you consider Boston's road record in these playoffs, when you consider what Cleveland did in the 2 home games in this series. You'd just be picking on some sort of faith that Boston's going to have a good shooting night or a really good night on the road. But I think LeBron is probably more motivated than ever, not just to reach a finals, but look what's happening in that other conference where you've got Chris Paul going down and that team's still only 1 win away from the finals. You got the Warriors looking nothing like their normal selves, and there seems to be some sort of formula to beating them. If LeBron can somehow get past these Celtics, which he's supposed to be, right? They don't have Kyrie Irving. He's supposed to beat these guys. He can place all the pressure on that Celtics team by getting this to a Game 7. Yeah, I'm picking LeBron tonight. I'm picking him in Game 7 again, and I may be picking him in the finals if Houston gets there.
Heard it here first. Unlike the brave truth teller to my left, I will not be picking against LeBron, and not just because he's been so great with his back against the wall. In elimination games since 2011, LeBron has gone 10-3. No, it's because the Celtics are so bad on the road. Throughout this postseason, they shot 40% in away games. That's 15th out of the 16 playoff teams. They have a plus-minus of -12. I would pick them to lose against the Bucks or the Sixers on the road. LeBron, elimination game, he's going to smush him.
Ring! Ring!
Ah.
Ring!
Busy day.
Hello? Phil, again? Phil, you sound like Durant, no? Oh, okay. Well, sure. Huh? Oh, you think that Durant is a much better player than LeBron? That LeBron is a big choker that he's going to lose tonight. Yeah. Wow. And Durant is going to stay with the Golden State, winning the whole thing there. Okay. Phil, you sound like Durant. Are you sure that you're that you're Phil, not Durant? All right. I pass the word, Phil.
Man, this Phil.
No.
I thought that was Durant.
What are his credentials? He seems to know a lot.
What do you think the NFL didn't take a vote from owners?
So ESPN's Seth Wickersham reported yesterday that the owners didn't actually have an official vote on the new anthem rule. They sort of had an informal tally, went around the room, maybe raise hands, which that's how grade schoolers decide whether to get cupcakes or ice cream for a class party. It's not how you set policy. As far as why they did it, I think the answer is pretty obvious. They wanted to present a unanimous front, that people would actually ask the owners if they supported this, and some of them would be honest about it. And that's something that's going to keep happening over the course of the next few months. The owners, the coaches, the players are going to be asked about this, and it's going to stay in the news cycle, which is probably not what the NFL wanted when they made this decision.
Outside of the actual football field play, what's been the biggest story with the NFL the last couple of years? It has been this. And to try to settle this with a casual, informal vote that even surprised the people in the room, again, it just speaks to the NFL botching these types of things. When you talk about owners who may be on a different side, maybe they abstained, right? You talk about owners like Mark Davis, whose opinion on this issue is evolving. There really shouldn't be one rule added right here when everybody is not on the same page, especially when it's just going to create more problems for the league. I don't know if this is going to even stick from now until when the season starts. It's that problematic.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
I mean, look at this. That's not great. Like, you know, it's kind of ugly.
Oh,
but
that was awesome.
He gives them the shimmy, the Curry shimmy, and Steph loves it.
Yeah, so gotta get
Little simple
Easy
ground
toss
ball.
to-
Whoa! He could have walked it over there.
Whoa, he went full 50
There, the
cent.
tying run.
My Son's TV show is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's most loved wireless. Time to play the game that has an extra key to Dan's apartment and has been going over every morning to use his bathroom. Do you question?
You give us topics and events, we question it.
How's that different than any other week?
Do you question if a Steph deserved this?
Oh, Chris Paul and Steph Curry going at it. When Chris Paul, it feels like he can score whenever he wants to, but he doesn't make it look as pretty as Steph Curry. And yesterday, he was shooting around, and yeah, a couple of these shots were kind of ugly, but after one of them, he did this to Steph Curry. I mean, look at this. That's not great. Like, you know, it's kind of ugly.
Oh,
but
that was awesome.
he gives them the shimmy, the Curry shimmy, and Steph loves it. What
Yes.
I love about this is Chris Paul essentially saying, yeah, you're better than me. Like, I did a Steph move right there. Not only the shot was a Steph move, the shimmy was a Steph move. You've surpassed me, and I get to be you for a minute.
Afterwards, Steph said, if you're going to shimmy on someone, you got to be all right getting shimmied on, which may be the wisest words I've ever heard from a professional athlete. Like, I want that cross-stitched on a pillow.
I believe Antoine Walker has that on his wall somewhere.
Rather, that was the moment where he decided that he was going to fake that hamstring injury.
right
there.
Wasn't getting any better than that. Plan ahead, hamstring, got it.
It's not okay.
Never be called a choker
This
again.
is not okay.
Do you question if pitchers should feel comfortable throwing the ball to home plate?
Very intrigued by this one. We take it out to the SEC baseball tournament. Ole Miss and Georgia. Ole Miss on the mound. What do we got?
All right.
All right, there's two outs there.
So, gotta get some hit.
Little simple
Easy
ground
toss to-
ball. Whoa! He could have walked it over there.
Whoa, he went full 50
There, the
cent.
tying runs. Wow.
Yikes.
You can throw the ball to home plate with extreme accuracy at about 90 to 95 miles per hour, but a little lob pass about 10 feet closer you cannot complete. Man, that's John Lester-ish.
Yeah, and he didn't even have to throw it home. He could have gone to first. They had two outs.
Did that look like the guy who had confidence throwing it anywhere?
A pitcher, guys. A pitcher.
Well, I know someone else who is not that good throwing the ball at home plate.
Who we got?
Hey, it's Wilbon. Yes, it's the stock footage. And he's celebrating. I don't know why he's celebrating.
Wasn't that
Although
bad.
that pitch would have gotten the out in the SEC tournament, so there you go, Mike.
Is his jersey tucked into his
Yep,
jeans?
yep, perfectly tucked in. Like not even coming out at the edges, nothing. That is perfect tuck-in corniness.
That is a decision.
Do you question if Rudy Gobert should feel proud of himself?
Well, Rudy Gobert's not in the NBA playoffs anymore, so if he's blocking shots, it's probably going to be to little people. So let's see what this video looks like. Yeah,
that
as
is
expected.
A little human. And
One time I'd like to see one of these little kids just walk between the legs.
seriously.
Like,
Or-
what are they going to do there? They're going to purposely close your legs and crush you? I mean, that is mean,
that is a swat.
That's aggressive. Although the ball's out of bounds, it's a kid's ball again, so...
One of them should get on the other shoulders and they should put on a trench coat. See how tough Rudy Gobert is then.
Well, if you're going to block a kid's shot, you got to do it in a game.
Oh, we got a clip. Oh, this, yeah, a classic. Yes.
Yeah.
Boom! Yeah.
Oh, man. That's
And I
so
said,
aggressive.
boom!
He didn't even loosen his tie.
Yeah.
He just came straight out there and
Yeah, I gave me the tie and everything.
Never gets old. I think that's the coach, but I like to think it's one of the dads.
I'm getting money like I'm from the 80s. Me and Drake about to drop man. This song go crazy. They know I'm the truth, coming straight from the basement. I'm as straight as the street, man. I come from the pavement. 1,000,000, 100. It makes me go crazy. Wah, wah, wah. I'm Lil Baby. Beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that has his champagne on ice and is ready to pop bottles after LeBron chokes tonight. See? Or no?
Yeah, you might have to keep those bottles on ice. You tell us what to watch on TV tonight. We'll tell you if we're intrigued.
Saturday on Fox, the Champions League final, Real Madrid and Liverpool.
Yeah, it's an odd time of day, 2:45 on a Saturday, but I mean, Real Madrid trying to the third straight Champions League final. We're told we have a preview. I have no idea what we're about to see. Ah, of course, of course.
Oh, another classic. And...
In the face! How old is this kid now? Is he in college yet? Can we have him on as a guest?
Yeah, I know.
Champions League final. Mina, are you intrigued?
Yes, the pinnacle of football in Europe, and we tease it with a video of a child getting kicked in the face.
Football in America. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Are you kidding me? Cristiano Ronaldo, you know, I mean, that guy reminds me of myself, you know what I mean? He's
Naturally.
a champion like I am, you know, I mean, he got the same type of body that the one I carry around, you know? That's it, because every time he scores, you know what he does? He goes like that, you know, and he shows you everything he got like I do. He goes, yeah, you have it right there. There you have it. And that's what I do.
No, I'm not. I'm dead to this now. You guys think I'm going to shrink away in horror, but I'm so
That's
used
right.
to
Look
it.
at my six-pack here. Look at my six-pack.
Oh, where's the hot
better than Cristiano Ronaldo.
I feel
Tag
nothing.
if I've ever seen one.
Well, you know, you can laugh at my body now, but when I was a young man, you know, I mean, it looked like out of this world. You want to see a black and white photo?
Sure.
Man, we do look alike.
How
I
many of
should
those-
be doing this show instead of Dan.
On the SEC Network, the SEC College Baseball Tournament.
As much as I love my national champion Gators, I will not commit time to this. This, however, is LSU pitcher Todd Peterson at the plate for his team. Let's see what he does here.
Find a spot in the lineup.
Oh, look at that. It's his first career double. That's kind of a big deal.
Off the wall. One run is in. A two-run double.
That's,
for
yep,
Todd
that's
Peterson.
pads the lead a little bit. Yep, he's bragging a little bit. But what happens in his post-game interview, he said this.
What did Paul Maneri tell you before you walked up there?
Well, I mean, at first, he said, you know, just go up there, don't swing the bat, don't do anything. And then change the pitch, and I was like, he's getting scared out there. He's like, yeah, did you ever hit in high school? I go, I hit bombs. He's like, all right, swing away.
And here was his post-game interview.
Todd, when's the last time you've had an at-bat in a competitive baseball game?
High school, I guess. Coach, I'll be honest, I didn't hit in high school. My coach
What?
didn't let me. You know, I hit BP a couple times. You know, I did hit nukes, I'll tell you that. But yeah.
You didn't even hit in the games in high school?
No. He wouldn't let me. He didn't want me to get hurt, you know, but I guess it paid off. All the
So
batting
you lied
practice.
to me?
Coach, I wanted to swing. I had to.
As long as he shows up with the confidence, that's fine. But, man, his conscience must have been killing him from post-game to post-game. He decided to tell the truth and let it all out and admit it to his coach. Man, that kid's a liar. Mina, are you intrigued?
Yeah, that is your Stugotz today. And the greatest part is, if he hadn't been successful, nobody would have known that he had lied.
That's true. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. You know, this brings back old memories, you know, when I was coaching baseball and I put Dan in the game, you know, and he'll go strike one and strike two and strike three. He never hit the ball year after year after year, you know, and then he'll go to the bench and cry there, and then I have to buy him some ice cream. But he liked the ice cream. He liked the ice cream. He ate the ice cream and he ate the ice cream. He didn't care about playing the game. He loved the ice cream, you know what I mean? So he keeps striking out to get some more ice cream.
He grew up and is still lying about it.
That also has nothing to do with what happened.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Happy Memorial Day weekend. Thanks for watching.